Hey guys, and welcome back to Mike's Custom Garage. Today we're going to work on the Nova. Last video on the Nova, we took all the rear sheet metal off, the taillight panel, and both quarters. We've cleaned up everything, and now we're going to start putting it back together. So this video hopefully will get both quarter panels on and the taillight panel. And then we can start doing the body work on back there. We got door skins to put on later, and then get to the front of the car. But for now, our focus is on the quarter panels and the taillight panel. So let's jump into it and see what we can get done. Hi, and welcome to Mike's Custom Garage. Okay, last video we took the quarters off and the taillight panel off. I put this quarter back on. I was doing a little more work. I got to fit a little better here and a lot better on the side here. So gaps look pretty good going down. It's still, this door is still down a little bit. It's gonna need bushing, so we're gonna put a new door skin on it. So we'll get that up then, because it needs to go up just a little. But we wanted to make sure this fit really good before I welded that outer wheelhouse on. So what I'm going to do now is pull this quarter panel off and get to welding that outer wheelhouse. This thing's basically just sitting here. There's a couple clamps down here in the front. Definitely need to grease that hinge. Now, these aren't tight. There's no joke there. But work it off and there we go. Okay, we're going to start right down here. I got a clamp on each side of the spot weld and we're going to weld them up. Give myself a little bit of room. Okay, this half is done, now we'll jump on the other side. Okay, you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to have to weld a couple welds inside of there. I'm going to need 2 welds across here that'll hold that piece there in place. And this we're going to wait on until we fix the rust in here. So we're going to build out the panels so everything fits up to what we have here. But this here is all welded now. Clean it up, put some paint on it, some primer on it, undercoating, and this is all good. Well, we got a lot of cleaning up to do still. So we're probably going to finish these welds right here next. And then clean up all this rust. So that tomorrow we can get some rust reformer paint. And we'll get it all cleaned up and painted. And then we'll go back and we'll make these pieces and fix them in here. And this will be good to go. And then we can start putting the quarters on. We made a patch here. I forgot to hit the button to start the video, so anyhow, let's see if we can show you. There we go. It's got the welds going down down the back of this, and it comes in and meets up and fills in this gap right here. So not a big piece to put in, but definitely had to get fixed. So that's all good to go now. We're gonna clean this up tomorrow because it's getting late out now. It's after 9. So yeah, we'll get this tomorrow. We'll grind this up, clean it all up, clean up all of this up here, and put the quarters on. So it's a process, but we're just coming along nice. We'll get it done. We got still a lot of cleaning up to do in here, get all this clean. So that'll be next. Okay, we cleaned up all of the rust that was in here. I hit it with the orange hamburger wheel, then scuffed it down with some sandpaper, hit it with a red Scotch-Brite, got it as clean as we possibly could, and then we painted everything here with rust reformer. So this is good to go. Now we've got the back panel in place. As you can see, it's got a whole bunch of holes in it now for welding. We did put it back like the factory and put the plug welds very close together on both of these braces. So once we go to tack these in place, we should be fine. So the first piece to go on is this taillight panel. The other pieces go on over it, so it has to be in first. We're just going to clamp it on. We're not going to weld anything until the whole thing is together and fit in exactly where I want it. So let's grab another quarter panel and we're going to start putting the quarters on. Now that this panel's got all those holes in it for plug welds, we just got to get it on. Now, make it down here better. Now, everything's loose on here. It's going to stay loose until we get the rest of the body parts fit and aligned. We're going to line this up, get it where I want it. Then we're going to maybe put a tack in it and cut like 2 places. And then we're going to leave it alone and move on to the next panel. And make sure that the whole car has got nice gaps and lines up well before we start doing a bunch of welding. Because once I weld it, it's there forever. So this is good now. It's in place. It's not going to go anywhere. It's got a nice gap here, so I can weld this, butt weld this nice, and it'll fit well. And everything in the back will get to fit. We're going to clamp things and hold it all together nice, and should be in good shape. Okay, so we got the corners on. There's still some fitting and tweaking to do on them. That's what takes the time on this. Welding it ain't that hard, but make sure it's perfect. Make sure it's fit before you weld it. That's gonna take some time. We're gonna put the door back on this side. We're gonna fit everything up. I'm gonna put door skin on the other side and put the nose of it back on the car. Then I'll know that all my panels fit properly. Then we'll finish welding this up. Say, the fact that it's on there, it's not going anywhere, that's what we're looking for now. And it's not a big rush to get it done tomorrow, but I would like to see this car maybe in 2 weeks, have it like just ready to weld it and start doing the finished bodywork on it. It's a goal. I mean, most of the time I don't get there because I got other things to do, but it's definitely, you know, an idea. So we're gonna continue on this. It's getting late today. Tomorrow we'll get this door put back on. So we're gonna find the bushing kit. It's in here somewhere. So we get the bushing kit put on the door and put the door back on, and that should be in good shape. Okay, so now the quarter panels are on. They're just clamped on, but they're on. I want to take this door apart. This door is getting a new door skin. The big first thing to do is take all of the insides, the guts off, get the door on the stand. We'll grind off the door, outer skin, and we'll put a new skin on. We'll show you how we're going to do that. I took the other door apart probably a month ago, maybe more now. And I don't really remember even how it come apart. So we're just going to pick away at this piece by piece and get this stuff off so we get the windows out. I'm pretty sure the first thing I want to do is take this vent window out and see if I can move that first. That gives me room for the window to move. So usually in most cars, the vent window is one of the first things. If you can get them out, you do. So let's just work on that first. It's got some Phillips screws along the top of it here. Hopefully that's in sight camera, but there's some Phillips on the outside. There's looks like a 7/16 down here. So let's see if we get this off first. Okay, we took the window felt out first. Now we'll see if this will move. Not really. So we'll take out more things. Okay, this here's a window track. Goes in from these two slotted holes on the sides. Once I get this all apart, I'll figure out the best way to put it back together. I'm sure there's a way that's easier. There's this door stop that goes on the bottom. That stops the door from going down as far as it is right now, but taking that out might give me the room to get that. And it sure did. So now the quarter window's out, or the vent window's out. Now we get the vent window out, take the glass out. So what stopped me from taking the vent window out was that stopper on the bottom. So I'll keep that in mind. And we'll go find a safe place for all the glass. Okay, and taking the door off, first thing we need to do is get that spring off. I usually just get into a pry bar and pry it up. And that's it. Now I have a tool to put those back on. Now we need to do is get the pins out. And I'll probably use my air chisel for that. So let's close the door. I actually have a couple tools for it. So I can get in here. There's a clip right there. These come off. I'll take that off. There's one on the top and the bottom. And then we'll just hammer this here up. And I have a tool for that. Well, the lighting's terrible, but anyhow, I just got a little flat screwdriver in there and pry there you go, pry that clip off it. See how you focus. Maybe not, but there it is. That's the clip that's on the bottom of both of them. Okay, this tool right here is made to take those pins out. Just put it on the bottom and hit it with a hammer. And if this don't work, we got the edge chisel. Sorry, I couldn't get you much closer than that, but I needed to be in the way. There it goes. And this here's another tool for doing this. This gets underneath there and pries it up. And you can hit it with a hammer. That's one. Let's see if we get the other one. As you can see, I put a screwdriver in the bottom to hold the door on. Even with all the tools I have, and I got quite a few tools for taking pins out, they are a bugger. They're definitely a challenge, but it can be done. So what we're going to do now is we'll take the door off, put it on a stand, and then we will grind the outside of the door off. I'll show you how we put a door skin on one of these. Okay, on doing the skin, you want to grind the edge of the skin off. So we're just going to use the Rolock and just take off the edges all the way around. Okay, now what I want to show you is how far to go. See, as you're grinding the edge, you can see that split right there. That's how far you, whoops, there we go. Okay, so when you grind the edge, there's a split you see. That's when you know you're far enough. You don't need to go any further than that. Just want to look for that split all the way around the panel. And once you get that split, you can take the panel off.
Tell me, baby, what's the mean? Oh, what's the mean?
and I'll take my air chisel and get in between that and break everything loose. Okay, now with most of that loose, I have two welds. I'll show you if I can. Okay, right here. There's one here, a couple in here, and that, well, those have to come loose too. So what I'm gonna do is just chisel it off right in front of them, and then I'll just clean them up. So that's what we'll do. We'll chisel those things off. We'll get the skin off. And it does, so we're in good shape. Now what we want to do is take this rest of this apart and clean all this up. I'm going to sandblast all the edge, get everything nice and clean. There's spot welds. See if I can show you this. And this is like, you put these door skins on and then you have to weld these little spots. You can see there's a weld here and a weld here, weld there. And they're around every 2 inches around the door. You're gonna need to put those back in. If you don't, this door will move. And it's hard to show maybe on this door. This door has a broken spot weld on it. And when I do this, I don't know if you can tell there. Really can't see it, but I can move this door up and down. And the spot weld in here is broken, so the whole inside door and the outside door don't move together. So when I get on that door, I will straighten it and I will fix that spot weld. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to get the rest of these bolts out of this latch. Get this rod here off, and then I think we're gonna clean up those. That's where I cut that brace. We're gonna cut those to clean those up. And then we're gonna sandblast the inside of this door and get it all nice and clean. So let's see if we can get these out first. Okay, so as you see, I got one of the 3 screws out. I looked up online, I can order new screws, not a big deal. So it's to get these out. First attempt, I'm gonna cut a straight line across here and then try to use a flat screwdriver and see if I can get them out that way. If not, I'll weld a nut on the outside edge and we'll get them off that way. But one way or another, these are coming off. Can't believe how hard these things are. Oop, that one came loose. Now we'll replace these bolts anyway. We're not gonna give up. Dig a little deeper on that one, see if I can get some. Now the wrench gives me leverage. There it goes. That's versus welding a nut on. So there is another way. This way is not quite so evasive. I gotta sand out where the marks are on the side. It's not a big deal, but I didn't want to blast it and get sand all inside this latch. These bolts are cheaper than new latches, so. Okay, I'm ready to sandblast the frame here. Couple of safety things. Got a long sleeve shirt on, got my glasses, respirator. Don't blast without a respirator. This silica sand will kill you. So you're gonna wear a respirator. Safety goggles. Now somewhere I had goggles, but I couldn't find them, so these will work. It'll keep the sand out of my eyes. And gloves, because this stuff hurts. I'm also going to blast away from myself, so I won't get anything really blasting towards me, probably until I flip this over and do the inside. And I'm going to shut the garage doors so that no sand dust goes inside. Okay, I shut both the doors. I turn my other compressor on. It takes 2 compressors to run this thing. It takes a lot of air. So we're going to suit up and we're going to get the blasting. Okay, with the bottom side blasted, now we're going to blast the inside. I took the felt channels out of the window up here. I'm going to blast all of this too, and then we'll put some epoxy on this.
Tell me, baby, what's the way? Oh, what's the way? Tell me, baby, what's the way? What's the way I've got to do? What's he gotta do now?
The inside and the outside sandblasted. As you can see, it looks good. Now we're going to put 2 coats of epoxy on it. I'll do 2 coats on the inside, flip it over, do 2 on the outside, or inside, outside. I'm not sure which side is which. But either way, 2 coats on both sides. Okay, so we flipped it over. I had 2 coats on the inside, 2 coats on this side. Now we're gonna let it dry. Probably tomorrow we'll put the skin on it, and then we gotta fit it to the car and weld it in place, because these skins will move, and the body, there's no inner structure on these doors, not like, you know, the newer cars have, with a bar going across and all that. This car just don't have it. So we'll let this dry for today, and tomorrow we'll come back and get to it, get the skin on it. Yesterday we took this apart. This is the driver's side door. Took the skin off it, sandblasted the inside, and epoxied it. Now we're ready to start putting things together. I want to take the bushings out first. Gonna put new bushings in both these, and then we're gonna put door skin on. So let's get these bushings out first. Okay, these just get knocked out. We'll try to get underneath it with a screwdriver and pry it out. just don't work. Sometimes you gotta hit it from the back. Now the kit comes with two different size bushings, a larger one and a smaller one. This one, I know one of these were larger. Okay, so the bottom upper one has a larger bushing. Now, this is a tool that I made a long time ago doing S10 bushing kits 20 plus years ago. Basically, I just took the end of an open end wrench and welded it onto a pair of vice grips. And that will help with a washer to push these brass bushings in without destroying them. So what I do is put this on the end. Now, the bushing will come in and I'll go inside of this so it won't destroy nothing. I use the washer to protect the top of the brass bushing. Right. I just slowly tighten it. About a quarter turn at a time. And right in it goes. Okay, there's the brass bushing. Now I'll have to put the clamp on it and then we'll show you. There you have it. That one's in. Now we're going to do the other two here. And then we'll get to the door skin. All four bushings are in. You can see these two are brass. This one is something else. It's a little bit bigger than another brass one on the bottom. So now that this is good, we're going to flip the door over and we're going to do the skin. Okay, here's the door skin. The factory welded it. About every 6 to 12 inches, they put a little weld in it. What I'm going to do is give this like a half moon weld. Just on the edges of these on this door. So I'm popping a little hole on the end. And then along the edges, it'll probably about that far apart, probably 2.5 inches. So we're going to duplicate that. Again, I'm looking for a half moon shape. That's about all they had. They actually have much smaller welds than I can do to do this. So. Okay, we're all in good shape now. And hooked in through the top. That's good. That's underneath. Okay, now the skin's on here. I'm going to want to flip it over. When you flip these, you want to lay it the other way around. I'll show you. I'll tell you why. Okay, if you were to lay the door, this is the way you want it. If you lay it the other way, it could cause dents. Now once I have to hammer the finish hammer, I'll use a rubber block and bring it right to the edge and then hit it. Okay, let's take a look at it. Now we're still going to weld up here. Okay, let's take a look at it. Not bad. Now what I do see is a little funkiness right here. So I will hammer and dolly that from this side and work that down smooth. So does that see it? See that dent right there? It's a high spot. We'll hammer that down. And you guys have done door skins before, you know, sometimes they end up with a bunch of mud. That's not bad. There's a little bit going on right at the end down here, so we'll hammer that. Now we'll fine tune the outside of the skin here and get it where we want it to be. But overall, it don't look too bad. We're gonna put it on the car, we're gonna fit it, and then we're gonna weld it up. That way there we know it's where it's gonna have to be. Because the other door needs some welds on that also, so we're gonna hammer dolly this thing up, get it looking good, and then we're gonna put it on the car. Okay, we got the pins. Now that the door skin's on, let's get it lined, make sure it lines up. We got the door on. I had to hammer the pins in, but they're in. Lights, everything looks good here. The door needs a twist. That's why I didn't want to weld it yet, because now was the time to do it. And that easily it moves. Look at the whole door moves. That's on the frame. So what I want to do is move it the fender on and get a look at how that looks. Probably need to put the radius support on. Now as you can see, everything I've done so far is movable. This can still move, this can still move. We're gonna put the fender on with the radius support, and we'll start fine tuning all these things to fit. I mean, there's enough play in this. I can move it back and forth and up and down just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, but that could be enough to make the car fit right. So I'm gonna put pieces on one by one and get this car all fit up. Then we're gonna do the fine tuning and tweak it all in. Okay, so we're going to end this video here. We've put the radial support, front fenders, doors, door skin, quarter panels, outer wheelhouse, taillight panel, and the same on this side. Quarters, doors, and fender. So the outside of the body is pretty much here. We have some tweaking to do now to get things perfectly where they need to be. So with that said, I'd like to thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, notifications, leave a comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.